Hello, hi to Dr. Gloria. My name is Idina Atika binti Izami with matric number 2024764897. Today I'm going to present my individual assignment 2. So this is the coding for task 1. Task 1 is required to record the score of 4 rounds of e-games for each group A, B and C. So this is the standard library for the coding, and here is the function prototypes. It is to declare the function used in the program. So match rounds is to find the best round for a group based on score. Calculate average is to calculate the average score for a group. Find champion is to determine the champion group based on average. Display score is to display all score of a group, and log error is to log error to a file. So this is the function pointer declaration. Type definition is to define a type of alias average function for a pointer to a pointer that returns a float. And this is the parameters: a pointer to a float, a reference to float, and a char. So next we are going to define a structure group to store the group's names, an array of 4 scores for the group, and the average group's score. So this is the main function. Here we are going to initialize an array of 3 group structure for group A, group B, and group C. Each group starts with 0 score and average. This is because we are going to input the score in the input text file. So first we are going to open the output file for writing result. If the file cannot be opened, an error is displayed and the program exit. And next we are going to open game score. This is the input file, and if the file cannot be opened, an error message is logged using log error and the program exit. So next we are going to loop through group and rounds to read scores from the input file. If invalid data is encountered, logs an error and exit. And we close the input text file. So next, pointer to function, we are going to declare a function pointer average function and assign it to calculate average. Next, we are going to display scores and calculate average. We are going to loop through groups, displaying scores and calculating average using the function pointer. And next, we are going to determine the best round for each group. We call max round, displaying scores and calculating average using the function pointer. Next, we are going to determine and display the champion group. We call find champion to determine and write the function group. Then close the output file and inform the user, and then return 0. So next, this is the function to find the best round using pointers. This is to find the round with the maximum score using pointer arithmetic. And then we calculate the average score for a group using pointer arithmetic and reference parameter. So that this is the function to calculate the average and display it. The next, this is the function to determine and display the champion group. This function is to compare average scores to determine the champion and write the result. Next, function to display score for a group. This is for display scores of a group using pointer arithmetic. And then we log errors to both the console and the output file. Okay, so this is task 2 for the individual assignment. Task 2 is required to calculate the number of students for each grade A, B, C, D, E for CSC404. So this is the standard library for the coding. Here we have structure, definition, to struct cost. This is to define a structure named cost that groups related variable for each student. So variable 1, student name, this is a string for students' names. Variable 2, student ID, this is an integer for students' unique ID. Variable 3, integer mark, this is an integer for the student's mark. And lastly, we have variable 4, variable grade. This is a character to represent the student's grade, whether the student get A, B, C, D or E. So this is the main function. We have constant data type integer, max student equal to 50. This is the maximum size of the array for the student in course 404. This is to declare an array of structure to store student data, which is course CSC404 max student. And this integer size equal to 0 is to track the number of students. Then we are going to count the number of students in each grade A, B, C, D, E. So this is the array for the grade count. So this is for file handling. If stream input file student data.txt. This is for open the file student data.txt for reading. And next we are going to check if the file failed to open. If so, it prints an error and exit the program. Next, we are going to read student data from file. So first we read student name, student ID, and mark for each student from the file, and then we call the determine grade function to assign a grade to the current student, and this is the increment the size to count the number of student process. So here we are going to stop reading if the array reaches its capacity, and then we close the input file. Next, we are going to call the count grade function to calculate the number of students in each grade category, which is A, B, C, D, and E. And then we are going to call the function generate report to write the student data and grade summary to the report.txt file, which is the output file. And then we are going to inform the user that the report generated is successful, and then the user is going to check the output on the output text file, which is report.txt, and then return 0. So this is the function to determine grade. We are going to accept a pointer to a course structure and assign to the student based on their mark using an if else ladder. This is the function to count grades. We are going to iterate over the array of students and increment the count for each grade using a switch statement. Okay, so next we are going to open a file for writing, which is report.txt, and if the file fails to open, it prints an error and exit the function. So this is the table header for the report, and it iterates through the array to print student details in a formatted table. So lastly, the grade summary. We write the grade summary showing how many students receive each grade dynamically right inside based on the grade distribution. So that's all for my presentation for individual assignment 2. Thank you. Dr. Gloria, for listening.